Hey you guys, this is Benny. I just wanted to pop on and do my In My Mailbox. This is the first one for the month of July, so I got in kind of a whole lot of stuff. I wasn't thinking I was going to do a video this week because I was only expecting like 1 or 2 books to show up. And then I actually won a contest a month or 2 ago, and those books were on my doorstep when we went outside yesterday. I was excited. I about peed my pants. It was awesome. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to run through, I'm actually going to record like a long version, but I'll also edit out all the descriptions and do a short version. So there will eventually be 2 of the same IMM up on my channel. If you don't want to hear like the synopsis of the books, watch the short, and if you want to know what the books are about, watch the long. This was actually, I noticed this being done on, I think, Deborah's Book Cafe and Bumblebee channel, and I just thought it was a great idea. So I think I'm going to try to start doing that. It just depends on how hard the editing aspect of it is. I don't really want to record them twice, but if editing the descriptions out, it's not that hard, I'll probably start doing it that way. So anyway, let's get started. Let me put my eyeballs on. So I didn't get anything on Monday. It's like I never get anything on Mondays. But on Tuesday, I actually got 2 books. FedEx dropped off 13 Curses by Michelle Harrison. This is put out by LittleBrown. I actually received this copy for review. It's the first thing I've ever gotten from LittleBrown, so I'm really appreciative that they sent it to me. This is actually book 2 in the series. I think the series is called 13 Treasures. I didn't realize this was a book 2, so I ordered book 1 yesterday. I broke my book buying ban and ordered some books. But you can't read a book like that's in the middle of a series and not read the beginning of them, so I don't know. But anyway, this says, Tanya awoke with the start as the train she was traveling on shook to a halt. She had been dreaming of fairies again, not the cozy, friendly type portrayed in picture books, but the other type, ones that did more than pilfer and pinch and trick and lie. She had been dreaming of fairies that stole away human children never to be seen again, real fairies. Tanya shook herself and wiped a thin layer of perspiration from her upper lip. She knew better than most that few people believed in fairies these days. Of those who did, even fewer had the ability to see them. Tanya knew this because she was one of them. So the book is called 13 Curses. It is Michelle Harrison. Yeah, I'm going to read it. I'm going to wait for book 1 to show up and then I'll read it. So, excited! Anyway, let's see. Also, I got Filter the Von Stauffenberg Saga by Gwenn Wright. She is one of my Twitter peeps. She is amazing, and I have to tell you, I started reading this book and technically I read it in a day because I started it night before last before I went to bed, and then I finished it last night while I was in bed. She actually just took the paperback down, I think, to do an edit, and then so the paperback will be available next week. I think the ebook is probably still up, but so I told her I'd hold off and put my review up until like the paperback was back up for sale. But oh my god, go put it in your wish list right now because this was awesome. Like when I was finished, I'm not kidding, I ran upstairs and like tossed it at my husband, and I was telling him about it, and when I got done talking, I leaned against the door and fake cigarette smoked. This was good. I can't wait for her to write book 2, and I don't understand why this girl doesn't have an agent. Like, she's self-published. I don't know why she's not been sucked up by some big company, because this was really good. The back of it says, my name is Maria Josepha Raquel Demure von Stauffenberg Evans, but everyone just calls me Rocky. Thank God, because that was a mouthful. In 1877, Catherine Demure knows a terrifying secret. Frightened and alone, she pens the terrible truth, sealing it in an envelope addressed to her love. 2010, Raquel Evans lives on the wrong side of Nashville with the man who reluctantly plays the role of her father. Just weeks before graduation, she inherits a small ornate box. Inside it, she will find the dangerous message that went unheeded for more than a century. So, I know the back doesn't really tell a whole lot about the book. You're like, what? Why would I even be interested in that? But it was really good. So, put it in your wish list, and then when the Just get it. It's awesome. Oh, and add her on Twitter. She's so sweet. It's at Gwenn Wright, I think, is her Twitter thingy. So, okay. And then the next thing I got, I don't know if you saw on some of the book blogs, some people were hosting the Dark Days of Supernatural tour thing that was put out by Harper. Well, I happened to see one. It was on the LAT site. It's lifeaftertwilight.net is their URL. And I guess I entered like maybe on the last day that you could enter, like at the last possible minute, because like 2 days later she emailed me to tell me I won. I was like, what? Because I don't ever win anything. Look, I want all of this. Shut the front door, right? Oh, it's awesome. Okay. So this is what was on my doorstep yesterday. So the first one, and I can't believe it, was Divergent by Veronica Roth. Everybody is talking about this book. If I read this and this sucks, I'm going to be so mad at you guys. You won't even know. It's not going to be good. But yeah, it's Divergent by Veronica Roth. And there's a whole lot on the flap, so sit back. Here we go. Ready? It says, in Beatrice Pryor's dystopian Chicago, society is divided into 5 factions, each dedicated to the cultivation of a particular virtue. Candor, the honest; abnegation, the selfish; dauntless, the brave; amity, the peaceful; and erudite, the intelligent. I'm going to have to look that word up, 'cause I don't know what that means. On an appointed day of every year, all 16-year-olds must select the faction which they will devote the rest of their lives. For Beatrice, the decision is between staying with her family and being who she really is. She can't have staying with her family and being who she really is. She can't have both. So she makes the choice that surprises everyone, including herself. During the highly competitive initiation that follows, Beatrice names herself Tris and struggles to determine who her friends really are and where exactly a romance with a sometimes fascinating, sometimes infuriating boy fits into the life she has chosen. But Tris also has a secret, one she's kept hidden from everyone because she's been warned it can mean death. And as she discovers a growing conflict that threatens to unravel her seemingly perfect society, she also learns that her secret might help save those she loves, or it might destroy her. Debut author Veronica Roth bursts onto the literary scene with the first book in the Divergent series. Dystopian thrillers filled with electrifying decisions, heartbreaking betrayals, stunning consequences, and unexpected romance. Anyway, so I'm going to read this because you guys all talk about how awesome this book is. And if I read it and it sucks, I am so unsubbing from all of your channels. I mean it. I'm not even kidding. The next book was Cryptic Cravings, a Vampire Kisses novel. It's by Ellen Schreibner. I hadn't heard anything about this one. I haven't even seen any reviews about this one, so I don't know. It says the morbidly monotonous Dullsville, really? The morbidly monotonous Dullsville has finally become the most exciting place on Earth, now that Raven is madly in love with her hot vampire boyfriend Alexander, and a crew of vampires has taken residence in Dullsville's old mill. Raven discovers Jagger's plan to open a new club, The Crypt, right here in Dullsville. But is it her dream come true, or is it her worst nightmare? Raven and Alexander have to figure out what the nefarious vampire has in store for Dullsville's teen and vampire population. Can Raven convince Jagger to listen to her plans to make the Crypt the morbidly magnificent dance club it could be? Will it be safe for mortals and vampires alike? No, you silly girl, it's not possible. And as Sebastian and Luna's relationship heats up, Raven wonders about her own amorous fate. Will Alexander ever turn her? Does he crave her, and does he want to spend eternity together? And what does she really want? With cryptic secrets and cravings, this 8th installment in the Vampire Kisses series is a romantic and mysterious thrill ride. The 8th book? Are you kidding me? I'm not buying 7 of these. I'm going to read it, and it better make sense. Actually, it sounds a lot like another book about vampires and girls that love each other. I don't know if I'll read this one or not. We shall see. Sounds I don't know. Dullsville. Come on. Our editor should have made her change that. Hereafter by Tara Hudson. It says, I was floating in the river again. My body was as still, as insubstantial as it had been before this nightmare. It floated, unaffected by the drag and the pull of the angry current. This time things were different, although the dark and twisting scene looked almost the same as it did in each of my horrible dreams. Almost, because this time I wasn't the one drowning. He was. That cover is really pretty. That's really pretty. I don't know. My monitor is really doing the stop action thing. This better be recording, because if it's not, I'm going to be ticked off. The next book I got from HarperCollins, Die For Me, Would You Risk Your Life For Love by Amy Plum. I love this cover. I have loved this cover on every little book review and video I have seen this on. This is by, Amy Plum. It says, I had known that there was something different about Vincent. I had felt it. Even before I saw his photo in the obituaries, it was something just a little east of normal, but too obscure for me to put my finger on. So I had ignored it. But now I was going to find out. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds really good. And I'm going to read this because it sounds really good. Everybody really likes it. Again, you guys, if I read this and it sucked, you guys are in so much trouble. The next one I got is Starcrossed. I don't know if I like the cover or not. It is by Josephine Angelini. It's pretty thick. I don't know anything about this one. I'll have to look it up. It says, how do you defy destiny? Helen Hamilton has spent her entire 16 years trying to hide how different she is. No easy task on an island as small and sheltered as Nantucket. And it's getting harder. Nightmares of a desperate desert journey have Helen waking parched, only to find her sheets damaged by dirt and dust. At school, she's haunted by hallucinations of 3 women weeping tears of blood. And when Helen first crosses paths with Lucas Delos, she has no way of knowing they're destined to play the leading roles in the tragedy the fates insist on repeating throughout history. As Helen unlocks the secrets of her ancestry, she realizes that some myths are more than just legend, but even demigod powers might not be enough to defy the forces that are both drawing her and Lucas together and trying to tear them apart. That sounds really good, so I don't know. This sounds good. I like the iridescent, there's like an iridescent sheen on the cover. I do like that. I don't know. This one is Illusions by April Lynn Pike. I think this is also in a series. When You Kiss Me, I Got All These Ideas for potions I've never heard of. Laurel thought of the way the word poison had invaded her mind. I think maybe they're forbidden. Why? Tamani asked. It told me how to make potions from you. Laurel lost herself in thoughts of potions, powders, and poisons, and she somehow knew that she was never supposed to learn. So that sounds pretty good. And if this is a part of a series, that means I should have ordered some more books yesterday. Is this about witches? Is this witches? Somebody comment below. Is this witches? If this is witches, I'm going to have to order the other books. So, yeah. I don't know if I like the cover or not. There's a flower up here, and this is a reflection in a pool of water, and it makes it look all crazy. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. If this is witches, I'll read it. Something Deadly This Way comes by Kim Harrison. It says, it's just some quotes on the back. Melissa Marr and Kelly Armstrong both blurbed this. It says, I'm Madison Avery, in charge of Heaven's Hit Squad and fighting it all the way. When Madison died the night of her prom, she knew her life would never be the same. Now she has a powerful amulet, a team of rogue angels by her side, and the ability to flash forward into the future to see the shape of destiny. And of course, now she's finally with Josh, perfect boyfriend, who doesn't even mind that she's dead. But being dead has its disadvantages too. Madison feels caught between the light and the dark, and between her real life and her timekeeper status. When Madison has the opportunity to get her body back, to be alive again, she faces her most difficult decision yet. If she claims it, she could return to being a normal girl and have a chance at a real relationship with Josh. But would having the one thing she wants most in the world also mean giving up everything she's worked so hard for? Yo, this sounds like they took everything in Beautiful Creatures and Beautiful Darkness and crammed it into one book. I don't know if I'll read this or not. I probably will, because I like both those books. But we'll see. I'm not a fan of just a face on the cover. Like that. Because what if you read and then this chick doesn't even look like the chick that's described in the book, and then you're stuck with this picture the whole time you're reading. So I'm not a big fan of this, but I don't know, it sounds pretty interesting. So that's what I got this week. This video is probably like an hour long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9. I received 9 books. I've already read one of them. And I guess getting this totally just blows my little TBR video I made the other day apart, because I'm not going to be able to do the books I said in my to be read pile. Now I have all these books. I'm going to read this as soon as 13 Treasures come, and I can read 13 Treasures, because I really want it. This sounds awesome, and I just want to read it. And like I said, this was really good. Like, put it in your wish list on Amazon, and then give it about a week, and then go pick up the paperback. Because it is so worth the money. She's self-published, so the only, you know, you're not going to be able to pick this up in Barnes & Noble and all that. And dude, this book was so good. I am not even kidding. Yeah, you need to pick this up. Oh, and also I wanted to say a shout out and a big thank you to Misty the Book Rat, because she did a TBR video and mentioned me on it, and like right after she posted her video, I got like 15 new subscribers, so I'm assuming they saw my channel on her channel. So Misty, mwah, I love you, girlfriend. You are my favorite. You're my favorite. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next week. See ya!